Well, good morning and welcome to another Wine Steward video. My name is Jim, and this little guy over here has no name. We will not name it for his plight. I think it's a him. I haven't checked. His plight is rather sad. As of this Easter, he'll be handed to a 1.5-year-old border collie and will not long survive. So a bit of a Easter sacrifice in store for you, sir. I believe you're a sir. Anyway, up here because, of course, it's Easter time and we want to talk a lot about Easter wines and Easter doings and whatever your plans are. We think we have a product for it, including this beautiful rosé sparkling wine right in front of me here. Let's get this out from in front of us and into here. This sparkling wine comes from Italy. Is it Prosecco? No. It's more important than Prosecco in that it's made just like champagne. It comes from an area within Lombardy called Franciacorta. And Franciacorta has to be made like champagne. That is, the second fermentation happens in bottle. This is in fact being served by the glass at our wine bar. This is the sparkling wine of the week. It's our wow of the week, wine of the week, because it's serving many purposes. That is, over there on the wine bar, it's being shown by the glass. Downstairs, it's available on the shelf for your Easter feasting. And it's also appearing in this month's Bubbles Club. So you members of the Sparkling Wine Club who are getting 2 or 1 very good sparkling wine every month from us will in fact be receiving a wine from France and this wine from Italy this month. This beautiful rosé, very fitting color, don't you think? Franciacorta. So wine of the week, wine club wine, and also the sparkling wine of the week up here on our wine bar, and sure to be beautiful for Easter brunch or dinner. This is in fact a little less silly. Actually, it's not silly at all, but less funny and silly than the Prosecco, along with some peach juice you might be drinking. That would be a Bellini, right? At this Easter morning. Have this before dinner, in fact, because it's more distinguished. It's dry, it's a brut. It's made of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, second fermentation in bottle, as I said, and the producer is Contadi Castadi. Contadi Castadi, gotta practice that. Contadi Castadi, Franciacorta. Get in on this, it's really beautiful sparkling wine, costs a little bit less than champagne, and is easily the equal of champagne. And you can't have any. I want to point out that all over our store, all of a sudden, these little signs have appeared under particular bottles. So we want you to go on an egg hunt, a little Easter egg hunt at the Wine Steward in search of wines that we think are appropriate for Easter. Now, what does constitute an Easter wine? Well, that would be anything you feel like drinking this Sunday, of course. But many of you are going to be having Easter ham. Others of you are going to be having Easter lamb. Others of you are going to say, screw tradition, let's do some barbecuing because the day is bound to be very nice weather-wise. So really, a lot of things work. But what I am asking you to avoid, perhaps, unless you're having a big steak, is the big oaky dark reds, and to go instead in the direction of fruit. So whether it's white rosé or red, go for fruit-forward reds. And in fact, that's what we're, whites, rosés, and reds. That's what we're featuring on our wine bar. Our white flight consists of beautiful no oak or very, very little low oak treatment, white wines, and the reds play along. So let's get this talked about first. This is Mirabeau Rosé. It does have an egg on it, and it has an egg on the shelf under the display bottle. This is from the south of France, and you've seen it before. We talked this up. It's one of our favorite rosés every year. It's back, and it's represented because of color and because it's going to be delicious on a nice warm spring day called Easter. It's an Easter wine, boom. And we just want to point out again that Mirabeau, who makes this, also makes pink gin. So if you feel like a nice gin and tonic or a martini, this will work in either. This is a more delicate Provence style gin. It's made in Provence. So how cool that Mirabeau makes a dry rosé along with a very dry and beautifully pinked gin. So check that out. I suppose we probably have an egg under this bottle downstairs too. I should go check. Now we're going to talk about a few wine club wines, and want to also point out in the meantime that we are back into the burrata biz. So it's not very easy to show off burrata when it's trapped in this plastic along with a little bit of water, but that's how it comes to us from Italy. Yes, this is the real stuff from Puglia, Italy. Burrata is beautiful, soft cheese that's just like a big puddle of love on a plate. You can drizzle it with olive oil, sprinkle salt and pepper over it. How about some herbes de Provence? It's subject to a lot of treatments, but it's, I think, very Eastery. It almost looks like an Easter egg once you have it out of that bag. So just want to let you know that we do this every spring. We get the burrata back in, and we're doing it up here at the wine bar. We're doing it out the door for those of you who want to take some home for your Easter brunch, lunch, or dinner. How about that? Okay, finally, we're not going to take too long doing this, but I want to tell you just about a couple of the wines that are in the Easter flight that we think are appropriate for Easter for one reason or the other. Now, I pointed out already that we are going to avoid oaky wines at all costs. Let's talk about this wine. This is a white wine that we haven't carried in a long time. In fact, we've never had this brand of it, but this is from Lugana up by Lake Garda in northern Italy. And the grape is called Turbiana. And in the past, we would say, oh, it's the same as Trebbiano. We're not saying that anymore. This is more closely related to, or perhaps the same as, Verdicchio, which is grown a little east of here in the Marche region. But here the grape is called Turbiana. It's got flesh, but it's got zing within it. It's one of those cool white wines that is a little broad, but it has a core of electricity, you could say. So try out this new Lugana that we have made at the Turbiana grape. You can geek out, but you can also enjoy a delicious white wine at the same time. Another wine to geek out on, but also enjoy, is a brand new entry from Greece. This wine called Anemos comes from Palivou Vineyards. They are in the Peloponnese area of southern Greece. That is part of the mainland of Greece. It's not one of the islands. Peloponnese grows a lot of grapes and makes a lot of wine because of that. And this is a blend of two well-known, fairly well-known white grapes from Greece. It's only well-known if you had Greek white wine. Moscofilero, musky, as the name implies, has kind of a fragrant, almost muscatty nose. And Rhoditis is the other player here. Those two are blended together to make this white wine, which is very dry and super fragrant, especially because of that Moscofilero contribution. So try out a new Greek white wine. Very fresh, very lively, and I think good for Easter because it's got the beautiful springtime perfume going on. Really nice white wine. Let's just tell you about two of the reds that we're doing on the wine bar flight. How about this? We're bringing Bernardus back up. We really love this producer lately. We have Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, and Pinot Noir from these guys right now. They're located in the Carmel Valley as a winery. Most of the wine they make comes from east of there, and that would be in the Santa Lucia Highlands and Arroyo Seco areas. And this one does too. This is Santa Lucia Highlands Pinot Noir that is just coming into its own. We recently had the president of Bernardus here, Jeff. He actually lives here in town, and he visited and he said his belief is that this is finally finding its feet, coming into its own. We've been carrying it for months, but I can agree that it's kind of filling out now and getting better. I already liked it before, but now it's got a little more body going on. So a beautiful 2023 Pinot Noir from Bernardus, Santa Lucia Highlands, is part of the red wine flight that's trying not to be big, oaky, grumpy necessarily, light on its feet, perfumey, springy, like this poor guy. Bernardus Pinot Noir, very nice stuff. And how about just one more wine to tell you about? Very much in the same vein of promoting fruitiness. Dry wine, this is dry wine, but the fruit is beautiful here. There are 5 contributions, and therefore this is called M5. This is made by Marjoram. It's the wine they make every year called M5. It uses 5 different Rhone varieties, and I'm not going to remember them all. Well, maybe I'll try. Grenache, Syrah, Mourvedre, Cinsault, and Counoise. There we go. 5 different Rhone varieties as grown in Santa Barbara County. Doug Marjoram makes this every year. Like I said, it's delicious. Have a glass of this after you've had a taste of it. You'll want to. It's a beautiful Sideways Country blend, and just reminds me that we do, in fact, have a Sideways Country event coming up. I can't remember the date right now. But just so you know, just so you can get this into your brains, in a week and a half, we're going to have 2 of our favorite French importers here who agree to a non-compete event. In other words, Gregoire and Paul, they both come and stand next to each other and promise not to fight and show their respective wines to us, all French, of course. And after that, I think, is the Sideways event and a sidetrack event. Anyway, lots of good things coming up. Look for the eggs. Come on in, do some Easter shopping now, and come on up to the wine bar, enjoy what we have up here too. And a final note, do I have a prop by which to indicate it? No. Let's just put Bernardus back up here and say that Well, let's pretend that this is Bernardus Marinus, which is in fact made from Carmel Valley fruit, and it is in our Red Collector Club this month. As of right now, or maybe in a few minutes from now, we will be ready to hand off the April Wine Club wine. So another reason to visit the wine steward, especially if you're a club member, is to pick up those wines and perhaps to do some other shopping. So Bernardus Marinus, a red blend based on, I believe, Merlot and Cabernet, is going to be featured in the Red Collector Club. And this is my indication, my mnemonic device, my reminder to tell you, club members, beloved members, that you can get your April Wine Club wines now. We thank you for your support, anything you do here, and let's all say a prayer for this dude. He looks so happy. I'm sorry.